Okay, here we go, training session. This was up at League last night. I hit this shot. I had to get right to where that donut is off of one rail to open up the rack, and I ended up making the shot in League, but having the cue ball look like that, where I gave up on my inside and it just came straight up and didn't get towards my breakout. So now I'm not upset or anything. I just put my head down to consider what happened. I overcut it. I think I might have thought, well, it kicked out with some deflection, so I think about it, consider it, and now I'm going to probably aim more towards the right side of the pocket to try to help with my account for deflection. And I hit the next shot. We'll see what happened. And yeah, I actually got back to the inside that I was looking for and actually ripped a little too much on it. And that was fine because a lot of times when I'm hitting these, I'm going to overcorrect. Because I have been last night in League and through the first, I don't know, I started this video, but it was like almost an hour long of me hitting this shot. So I just came down to these last three 10 groupings. And see, that was very common, what I was trying to avoid. That's what I did last night, kind of going back to center with my tip. And it's fine. I just am trying to work on it. And yeah, so someone in the comments in one of my last videos talked about the length of my stroke and kind of smashing the ball without English and not stroking it. That one looked a little bit, that one might have been thick. I think I put it on the thin side. Doesn't really matter. It's just barely missed it. So, but I have been missing these things off to the thin side because of the deflection. But the commenter had mentioned some things that matched up with what I'm trying to do, which is just hold my tip through and push through just like that, nice and calm. And when I do that, I get more load on the cue ball like that. And I got too much load, but I'm fine because this is a hot and cold faucet we're working with here with this positioning on the tip. It's like too much, too little, too much, too little. We try to dial it in and we just practice and see what happens. So here we go. Not a bad attempt, but a little bit, just off. That's like just the smallest amount of tip position to make that end up in that spot. But I'm liking it. That's a little better. And I'm trying to really put this thing in with confidence. And that one I hit with confidence and I pulled back and stroked through. I just mishit it. Could be where it entered the pocket. Could be giving up on my inside a little bit. All those things are fine. I just keep putting balls up and trying and seeing if I can fix stuff. That was my chair squeaking, if you're wondering, in the background with my foot on the other chair. Okay, now we hit a good one. So we like that. We like it. That's kind of what we were looking to do most of these shots. And so now that we found it, took us a few shots where, like I said, I don't know if I said this before, but this is edited down because the first 60 or 70 attempts were kind of boring. And I figured you guys wouldn't want to watch that. So see, now we're getting a little closer. We're getting a little better. The 7, the 8, and the 9 were all better grouping and a better scatter pattern, let's call it. And I'm just trying to like slow down and find the shot. I think before in the first 60 or 70, I was way behind the cue ball, thinking about my mechanics, all that kind of stuff. And there we go back and we lost our inside, but it's manageable in most cases. Not where I want to be, right? Like I would like my scatter to be, within a ball or two, and that's probably 2.5 balls away from that dot. So that's not ideal, but I'm okay. I accept it and I move on. And here I had the idea because I'm about 70, 80 shots in and for the day this morning doing this. And I decided, well, I feel okay. I think I got the shot. I've hit some different versions of this shot. Now let me come up one rail and let me start marking my scatter. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to grab the one ball and I'm going to place it where the cue ball is. And we're going to start tracking our scatter. So I would say, that's probably a C plus, B minus position shot. And, the good news is I made it. I'm still at the table. hit another one, see if we can improve on that. And we're going to call that about an A minus, I'd say. It's about a ball away from the dot. So I'll mark that. And we're trying to watch and see, how we end up out of 10 with our scatter pattern here. And, now I'm starting to, after I've hit this 70, 80 times, 90 times, whatever it is, I'm starting to find a little bit more familiarity. I got to, watch, get out of the way, okay? And we want to mark these pretty accurately. So once in a while, I'm going to have to pop up and move the balls. And that I would say is a C type of shot. The ball went in, the pad, so that's good. The position of the 3 balls went through our zone, so that's not bad. But okay, we're going to call that an F because we missed the shot and we overcut it. So we're going to mark the ball on the rail so we know that we overcut it. Now we're going to wave our cue around and say this is ridiculous. And no, just kidding. Okay, so we're just letting go of that shot. We're paying attention. The only thing we remember about that shot is we have a tendency to kick it out with deflection and overcut it. So now we smooth one back with the 5, and we like. That is right in that A minus range. Okay, we like it. And let's see what happened to the 6. I think I forgot to mark this 6. I don't remember. But let's find out where the cue ball went, because I think the 6 just stayed in the hole. Okay. So we shoot it, and we sprayed it out. And I'm going to call that, like a, look at, what did I do? Okay, whatever, who cares? I ended up marking the 7 with the 6s, so it's going to screw up my numbers, but who cares? I got a little confused. Okay, so we're going back, we're checking our spray pattern, we go there, and then I'm like, I worked the 6 there, or the 8 there. Okay, the 6 is in the hole. Okay, so our spray pattern here is a little wild. I'm going to call that like a C shot, C plus, I don't know. And let's see what we do on the 9. Okay, we come back. This is looking more like that's probably really close to an A minus, A. So those 3 balls, the 2, the 5, and the 9 are in the A range. And then we got a little bit of a B minus, C plus range. I'm looking for the 6. I'm super confused. And I just forget about it. So I guess I'm going 9 out of 10 this one. I'm like looking at them like, what did I do? Okay, so now we have this last one. And this scatter, I'd say, it's good because I've only missed 1 shot at this point. And then I end up with this shot, which freezes on the 2, which puts us in like that B plus range, let's say. So I'm looking at those 4 balls in the center there, and those are all like A minus, B plus kind of range shots, maybe 2 A minus and 2 B plus. And then I got a couple B minus, C pluses around, or C's. So that's good. It's not bad, but we're going to run it back one more time. And we're going to look at the scatter pattern, and we're going to say that the 10 before that was worse than that 10. So we had really good improvement on that 10, and which is good. We're still in our process mindset, but we have a 20% results focus, right? So we're using these scatter patterns and marking these balls to pay attention and looking at how many out of 10 we make. Like, these are things we want to have like data, right? So we're not just hitting balls randomly and saying we don't care. We're working on these shots, and we're trying to be very detailed. And that, I'm going to say, is because I went through my zone and I'm really close, I'm going to call that like an A for the first one. So it's good to start with an A. And then we're going to keep watching and see what happens. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get ahead of the cue ball and less behind the cue ball, and build more trust and just smooth it through just like this. We're going to call that, it kind of rolled off a little bit. We're going to call that a B plus if it would have stayed straight. Timmy Tunjum. No, I'm just kidding. The table rolls good. That was not Timmy's fault. That was the way I hit it. So, okay, but we're liking our scatter pattern so far. And it looks smooth, like the stroke looks smooth. I'm not jabbing, I'm not overhitting it. That one you could see me kick out a little bit, probably with my hand. And that was pretty trashy. Call that like a C because it went in. And it's in the general vicinity, but not great. Almost hooked myself. And now we're going to go to the 4. We're going to try to improve on that shot. You know, we don't have to freak out. We don't have to get mad. We don't have to wave our cue around and scratch our head and do all the stuff that you see people doing when they make mistakes. So we push through just like that, and we improve the shot. And I'm going to call that about a B plus, A minus shot. B plus E. Let's call it B plus. And I'm liking this grouping. This is not a bad grouping at all for the early stages of this 10 pack of balls. And I only had, I don't know if I had any kick out strokes last time. It was a little funny to see it happen here, which is fine. Ooh, and then because I wanted to have that inside not quit like the 3 and the 4, ended up hitting that 5 with a little bit extra load, ended up hitting like a C shot because of it. But I saw something that I like, which is I committed to that inside and I wasn't losing it out to the outside and giving up on my English. And then because of that, I end up hitting this shot, which is really nice. And that's an A shot because I was able to make the correction with that 5 to find my inside. I don't know if I marked that in the wrong spot. Doesn't matter. I think it was a little close to the rail. But do you see what I'm saying? Like you can look back, and this is why I use the numbers on the balls. I can look back at the 3 and 4 and see that my English gave up. Oh, there, I fixed it. Nice. And then I look at my 5 and you can see that I overcorrected for 3 and 4, and then 6 was money. So this is how I train. You can look at the numbers and tell what I'm doing and what's going on in my brain. And then I go back to not enough inside, and I end up in that B plus range, B range, let's say, because it rolled through a little bit with the 7, which is fine. It's close to the dot. It's just off a little bit. It's kind of that spin that gave up, which is fine. We just kind of hit it, watch it, deal with it, and we like it. And this grouping is not perfect, but it's looking pretty tight. There we go. That's when I totally give up on my situation. Like I kick out, and that's the way it looks when I lose my spin. And so it's good. I'm doing this because I learn. This is what it looks like when I lose my spin. So I go back and I say, okay, I got to hold my follow through. I got to stay on my strike. I got to hold my spin. And I spray it into the overcut rail because I don't know, kicked out, deflection, aim, problems, whatever. But it's only 1 out of 10. I'm still at 90%. I'm still at the table. Most of the time I'm at the table. And we're going to try to end on a good one, right? Because we have a pretty good grouping here overall. And then we hit this, and it's really nice. It's really close to the dot. So I'm going to pull them apart here and show you how I grade myself. I'm going to pull the A minus B pluses out, and then I'm going to pull out the B to C pluses, and then I'm going to pull out the last ones. So that's not good. Well, I put it where it was because it was in the path. So I'm going to pull all these out, and I'm going to say 2, 4, 5, not bad, B plus, A minus, and then I got like a B range, and I got 2 that are in the C range. So not bad. I got 5 of them, half of them, and I missed one. So I look at it and I assess. And that's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. We'll